Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And we are underway from Miami. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground with Wright. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. On play action, here's Tua. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Tua going to give this to Wright. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's got a man. It's his fullback. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down. The Dolphins at 11-4 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Out of the gun. Here's a give to Wright. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll try and run for this with Wright. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Well, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And the Dolphins are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Right. Not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Tua sets up to pass it. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground. Tua now, 3rd and goal.
And he's got it. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. In motion, the tight end. They'll run for it. Here's Wright. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. So, Charles, they wanted 7 on that opening drive. They didn't want to settle for a field goal.
Felt like a tone setter. You know, that's what they were looking for, because a lot of teams, they'll march it downfield, and when they kick the field goal, it almost feels disappointing, doesn't it? You have a nice drive. I think this team decided, guess what? No matter what, we're going for the 6, trying to put those points on the board and set them back on their heels.
But unfortunately, that mentality did not work out. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And complete to Drake London. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7. They'll throw with Penix. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. And it'll bring up 3rd down. You talk about this Miami defense. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. On the ground with a rookie from Auburn. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Dolphins 7, Falcons nothing.
Second quarter now, Falcon football. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Here's Penix. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick 6. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Penix working out of the gun here. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
And looking to throw, Penix. A quick throw there is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
They'll try to throw again. Here's Penix. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Looking to pass. Tua. And going deep for Hill. And this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. But that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They find some open field here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as they used to be, huh?
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now Penix. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to pump this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll work the middle here with Wright. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And Waddle going to have a Dolphins first down as he'll get this up past the 45. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning. Now Tua. And he'll get nothing out of that one. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Open net is Waddle, complete. And the Dolphins are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jonnu Smith from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And they'll send the slot in motion left. To the air, Penix. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Willie Gay getting in there and picking up the sack.
It's a loss of 8. Makes it 3rd and goal.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Third and goal, and still a long way from the end zone. Here's Tua. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
A 30-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Why are you guys giving up? It's like watching paint dry. What? This isn't even fun anymore.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Set to kick off.
It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line.
Come on, defense. Tough kick, get close. Off the ball, man. Bring it on.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 3. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Robinson up the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. Crossing route and complete. He's got Pitts. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. On 1st down, Farrell. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
On the draw, Robinson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Cousins. And this will be caught by Mooney. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
They'll run for it with Robinson. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Credit the sack to the safety, Jesse Bates.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
A give up the middle to right. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 56 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to...
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
1st and 10, it's Robinson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Second and 10. Here's Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. On the handoff, it's right, and he is going to have the Dolphins first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Wright on the ground. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. Tua sets up to pass it. Wright's got it. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
That is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now a 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. Short throw to Smith. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
They'll run on first down with Wright. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jalen Wright taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing, Cousins. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
They'll run out of the gun with Wright. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Good gain there on first down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play.
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle from 10 yards out. And the Dolphins stretch this fourth quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
His throw incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Cousins from the gun on third. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. And they'll go right back to right. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And they will take a knee here. And they'll indeed take a knee. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points.